Dear students, last class we have started the morphology of flowering plants. There is morphology means external structure. Flowering plants are angiosperm. Gymnosperm we are not discussing. That is, you have to study of the external parts and their modification and their functions. Right? Modification according to their functions. All we are going to study. Now, here, this also we discussed last class. Plant, any plant are made up of two parts. One is what? Shoot system, which is in the aerial portion, and the root system, which is in the ground portion. Root and shoot system. The shoot system consists of what? Flower, stem, leaf, fruits. These are the major part. And roots is below the ground. And what are the plants you can divide into classify in other way also. One is vegetative part and reproductive part. What is vegetative parts? Vegetative parts are roots, stem, leaves. These are called vegetative part. Right? The vegetative part. Flower and group of flower is also called inflorescence. Again, fruits, even seeds. These all are reproductive parts. Now here we are going to study what is it? The family of group of similar genes, no? Right? Gene characters, and that also we are going to study. And now I will start with the roots. In fact, we started this also last time. The roots, there are two types of root. Root is what? Monocotyledon and dicotyledon type. For dicot, see here, true roots. Right? Actually, it depends upon where it arises is more important. Right? Suppose a true root is also called primary or taproot. We call it is arise from radical, which is at the radical is at the embryo. Okay, it arises from a radical is called true root. Example, all dicotyledon plants, any dicotyledon plants have the true roots. You know, it looks like this, right? Right, this is a taproot or primary root. This is a secondary, tertiary. Then again what? We'll have quaternary or roots hair. Here, look here, all these roots will not absorb water, right? It is only for supportive function, but this root hairs only absorbs water. Very well. Now, most of the people, if they want to kill the tree, what they do is, they no need of cutting this, just in small pipe, they put little acid, they kill it. This is the method they are doing it, because root hairs only absorbs water and minerals. Okay. Next example of this, mustard tree and ficus religiosa. Right? That is a people tree we call. This is ficus plant, a tree, or people tree we call. Then adventitious root. What is the adventitious roots? It's not arising from radical. It's a part other than radical. Example, monocot. Example of this one is wheat, maize, plants and all. If you see here, there is no major or primary root here. Okay. See, whatever from the primary root part, whatever you are getting, this is the secondary roots we call. This is secondary. This is tertiary. Secondary is the one. This one. What it comes from the primary is called secondary roots. Then even sometimes secondary. See, this is called tertiary. From tertiary, you get ultimately you'll get fine particles are threads. Threads, roots. Very, very small roots. Or this is called roots hair. Or rootlets or root hairs we call. Here, see, this primary root is also called taproot, secondary and tertiary roots, and rootlet together is called root system in this one. See, all these things will not absorb water. It's very, very important. It will not actually, this only absorbs air because it is unicellular. It is. Therefore, it absorbs and minerals. Can you follow? All these things important, right, for you. Fixation or anchorage we can call. These all are important for anchoring or fixation, helpful for this fixation. But this is only for absorption. Absorption of water and minerals. This advantageous roots is what? Apart from the radicals wherever it is formed. Right? It formed apart from the radicals. It is formed from the base itself. It is formed from the base. That is, base is what? Under the stem. Okay. See, all these roots, all are same length, important. Having the same length. All roots having the same length. That is the reason they write fibers. It looks like a fibrous root system. Fibrous root system. This is like a nail. This is like a hair. Understood? Like a hair. See, there are even length or equal length. Remember. Sometime this dicot, no? Dicot plant or the tree says what will have a different type of root also. So example, banyan tree you take. The stem is so thick and the branch, from the branch also become more thick as the tail elapses, and it may fall. For this is preventing, in order to prevent falling, there is another type of root. This is called prop roots. I have written already prop root. It will form for supporting these branches. Okay, these are called. This is another type of modification. These are called prop root. Prop roots they call. Okay, they are like a pillars, lot of pillars. But it is not coming from aerial, though it is called dicot, but it is coming only from the branches, no, which is at that air. Okay, it is originating from the air branches. Okay, for the supporting purpose. Therefore, this also we call it is comes under advantageous roots. Can you follow? See, next we will discuss the region. What are the regions are part of the roots, because it consists of 4 parts. See, now let me discuss region of root. Under the morphology of flowering plants, there we'll start with that. There are 4 regions are there. First start with, say I am leaving this much space. First root cap I'll start. See, like this. See how I draw this. Similarly, identical, you write like this. You have to be very quick in doing the drawing. Now I write like this. What is this? Is called root cap. Then I put one portion like this. Put different color, some green color or blue color. If you want to draw, this is one zone. Zone of meristem. This much portion. See, this is like a square. This is small. Now, another zone I am going to write it. See, this is zone of elongation. For elongation means, see how I am writing it. Or a elongated portion, right? It is a elongation. Okay, it's like a rubber band, it expands. First it was a square, then after that it elongates. Square to rectangle, it goes like that. Zone of root cap, zone of meristem, zone of elongation. Now see here, see very important part. What is the use of this? It protects zone of meristem. Okay, it protects zone of meristem. You should not get a jerk. Suppose, see, that means root go towards in search of water. Therefore, also zeotropic. That means along the gravity. That means gravity is pulling this portion. Therefore, for that it will help. This root cap help for protection as well as like, so there is gravitational force or geotropism, we call the proper word, geotropism. Okay, use it. That means it move towards the geotropism region, and the root cap protects this for protection from jerks and all that. See, as the time elapses, as the plant grows, what happens? The root cap will get damaged. As it damage, what will happen? The zone of meristem will develop the root cap, right? It supports and it helps into get a new root cap. Wherever the damage it occurs, this will replace and or it compensates the damage of zone of meristem as it grows. Okay. Next, the zone of elongation I will discuss. Before that, we have to draw this properly. See how I am doing this. You write one line here, then you put like this. Next, here also you draw this. See how I am drawing that. Okay. Then put circle everywhere. I'll tell what it is. Okay. Got to be very, very fast in doing this. Don't write ditto and all right. Some people they write ditto. It is not that. You have to write there. Okay. See. Got to be very fast in practicing this. Okay. Because in the examination, therefore better write it is very small. Okay, you pre-plan. Okay, it need not be congested, even if it is far off also is no problem. Which I have done it. What is this is called root hair. See, this is also zone of absorption. Zone of root hair. Zone of root hair. Zone of absorption. This is also called zone of differentiation. I'll tell what is differentiation. And this is zone of maturation. Right? Therefore, these are the region of the roots. Here, root, apical meristem, cell here. What is the function of root apical A, not E, sorry, apical meristem? Continuously it keep dividing. It will be very, very fast. The rate of divisions is faster than this. Okay, continuously dividing it fast. In order to for the development of the root of apical meristem cells are important. That means this zone is very, very essential. Without this, the root will not grow. Okay. Here, this cell contains dense cytoplasm and large nucleus, vacuoles are absent or minute vacuole will be there, minute vacuoles will be there. Zone elongation. In zone elongation, what happens? You take one particular cell. If you take one particular cell, see, it was like this. It contained the cytoplasm, nucleus, a vacuole, understood? Nucleus, cytoplasm, vacuole. Now, the vacuole will elongate here. This vacuole, it elongate. Because the elongation of vacuole, the cytoplasm is there here, okay, the nucleus is there. Because of the elongation of vacuole, it appears the elongation. Each cell looks elongated. Okay. Therefore, the square type gradually it get to elongated type. Therefore, because of the elongation of vacuole, it looks so big. Okay. Inside the vacuole, water, food materials, minerals are stored. It is like a fridge in a house. Okay. All these things are stored here. Water, food materials and minerals are stored in this vacuole. Right. Because why this elongation takes place? Due to the enzyme cytokinosis, I think, right? Because of that, with the help of that, it grows. This growth hormones are cytoquinine oxide, right? These are called growth hormone. Helps in elongation of the vacuole. Okay. See, next coming to this part, this entire part, they may give the name zone of root hair or zone of absorption, this zone of absorption or zone of differentiation or zone of maturation. It has got all possibilities, all four names are possible. See, in the NEET exams, I have not given the question, right? Most of the answers are embedded here inside. If you read all this, you will get to know what type of questions comes and how you will answer. Therefore, instead of first know the subject very well in biology. It is not like physics or chemistry. Chemistry you have to work it out. Physics also you have to work it out. But biology you have to read and see. I get somewhere stuck up because of this that enzyme name spelling. Okay. For here instead of A I have written E, apical. Therefore you have to be very, very careful on that. This purely depends on your fact, how much facts you know, not techniques. In biology you don't have any techniques. It is only informations. The more the information you get, you'll get the maximum mark. Therefore, decision making never come in biology, either zoology or botany. Right? But most of the people, they'll ask, you see, zone of maturation only, they'll use it. But these are also other names they can call. Right? Because from here only, after this zone of maturation, everything is differentiating. Here and all that. Okay? From this zone onwards, they are differentiating into elongation and zone of meristem and root cap and all. It is differentiating beyond this. Therefore, they are called zone of differentiation. They have named it like that. Now, what is this? This is epidermis. Epi means outside, right? Outer. Dermis called skin. Derma means skin. Dermatitis, inflammation on the skin. Dermatology, all this derm represent skin. Epi means outside. Since it comes in the root, we write, since it comes in the epidermis, this is a general name. Since it appears in a root, we will write rhizodermis. Rhizodermis is also called epidermis. This is a general name. Since this epidermis appeared in the root portion, is called rhizodermis. Can you follow? See, this root hair, this sometimes you can call unicellular root hair. This is called unicellular root hair. This is called what? Cortex and xylem flow, water conducting cells are there here. But here what is that? The root hair consists of unicellular. See, now slowly I am introducing rhizodon. In the beginning I have not written. First I am writing this, then I am writing this. Right? The root hair consists of unicellular. The unicellular content. Okay? See here what happens. This root hair is a unicellular root hair which absorbs water and mineral. For that reason only absorption zone we call. We call this is an absorption zone. From here to here we call an absorption zone. Therefore even in the exam you start from root cap, then what? Root zone of meristrum, then zone of elongation, then what? Zone of maturation. You have to go like this, the examination. Now this is called cortex, water conducting tissues, xylem and phloem. Anyway, this is more important for around 4 or 5 marks for this. And one particular one, the region of roots or morphology, you know, this morphology of flowering plant, all this together they may ask you 1 mark on this. Okay. See, mostly almost all the plant as having a single root cap only. Right? There are certain plant which have multiple root cap. This is an exceptional. You know what is the name of this? The name is, what is the name of this? Pandanus. Pandanus plant. Right? See these plants, right? This is called tilt roots, they called. From the first segment, the root starts. Okay? This is the first node, no? In the first node, these roots for supporting, so that this should not fall. For that, you tilt roots are there. Okay? And each root have a root cap. Okay? This is called tilt roots. Here you will get multiple roots cap. Here on, because just I magnify this. Here multiple root cap will be there. This is for supportive. And these roots originate from the first node of this Pandanus plant. Okay? See, these are terrestrial plants. Terrestrial plants. And what about aquatic plants? Aquatic plants is also called hydrophytes. Hydro means water. Okay? Aquatic plants is also called hydrophytes. We cannot find root cap. Instead, you got root pocket. See, this helps in buoyancy of the plant. That is what? Upthrust. Buoyancy means upthrust. That means it helps for floating of the plant. Right? Root packets are helping buoyancy. That means upthrust will be happening like right? Therefore, there is an upthrust act on this for the root packet, so that the plant will float. One important thing is this: if root cap damages, very important. If root cap damages, it will be replaced. It can be replaced, root cap. But root pocket, once it damaged, it cannot be replaced, so that the plant will sink. The plant will sink. Therefore, you have to be very, very careful. In that examination, they'll ask, do you think that root packet, the root packet will regenerate or replace? No, it will not be replaced. It is one time originations, but root cap replaced by this zonal meristem. Okay, but as it damage, what will happen? A new root packet will originate. Can you follow? Not replace. Okay, the replace is different from originating. Okay, thank you, students. Now we have come to the end of the region of roots, as well as the morphology of flowering plants, where external structure we have done, that only the root part we have discussed in detail. You are getting sure of getting one question, especially in the NEET exams. But as I said, you have to read 2-3 times. Again, I am insisting you should be like a prism. In a prism, what happens? If I send one white light, the prism capacity is dispersed. It gives 7 colors. I send one ray, one color, that means one ray. You are emerging with 7 rays with the beautiful colors. Therefore, whatever I have done, I taught you only 20%, and remaining 40% you have to prepare. How you have to prepare? Read your class notes, college notes, your tuition notes, and competitive exams you have gone different places. That notes also you compare, right? And write your own notes, and you go and teach to others. On 2 students you teach. Then start answering the question papers, the old question papers. And then again you also make a video like this. Our object is what? Each one teach one, right? That is, each one teach one. Each one teach one. If you teach others, it will be, you will remember forever. And I am thanking the Vijaya College management and the principal, which is Balakrishna, Dr. Govind, the placement chairman, and the botany department for the materials guidance for this. And I am only I had only compiling job. Okay, and most of these details for the subsequent class we are going to do that. Okay, and the next class description of flowering plants and morphology of flowering plants, or some of the short tricks also we'll discuss. Okay, any modification or alterations, please always send through email or through WhatsApp. Give for constructive suggestion. Thank you.